What's up, Jared? Here today we have my WWE 2025 Backlash predictions. So starting off, the match that I'm least excited for is Becky Lynch versus Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This match got put together because of WrestleMania 41. Becky Lynch returned, won the tag titles with Valkyria, and then the Raw after WrestleMania, they lost the tag titles, and then Becky Lynch turned on Valkyria and beat her up in the past couple weeks. They've been going back and forth on the promo battles and everything. But then Valkyria ended to get the upper hand on Becky Lynch this past Monday Night Raw. As much as I can see Valkyria getting a W, becoming like a dominant champion, beating Becky Lynch, I don't see why they would have Becky Lynch come back and out and over turn heel on Valkyria for her not to win their Intercontinental title. It's one of the only titles about now Becky Lynch is missing because their new titles, she doesn't have it. I think Becky Lynch wins, and then Valkyria ends up chasing her and beats her and gets her title back. But I think this time Becky Lynch wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship, so that's my prediction. Becky Lynch wins, but then Valkyria ends up chasing Becky Lynch at another pay-per-view and wins it back, maybe at SummerSlam or something. But my prediction is Becky Lynch defeats Valkyria. Next up, we have a match that already happened on Monday Night Raw, but Penta was screwed by the returning of JD McDonough. It's Dominic Mysterio defending his Intercontinental Championship against Penta. This match should be a banger. I don't know. I'm really torn on this one because Dominic just won the title at WrestleMania 41, but also Penta already lost to Dominic in an Intercontinental Championship match, and Penta's this uprising star. You really can't bury Penta. The only way I see that Penta loses if he's like majorly screwed over, but he's already been like screwed over. So it's like, this is my prediction is Dominic is gonna get screwed over either way. Whoever wins, Finn Balor's gonna turn on Dominic Mysterio. It's been this building thing. Finn got pinned by Dominic. He got screwed over. Finn had the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 41, but Dominic ended up hitting him with the frog smash and then pinned him. I think Finn Balor turns on Dominic Mysterio. Like, maybe he costs in the match, and then Penta wins the Intercontinental Championship, and then Dominic and Finn Balor battle it out. I think that's what makes most sense, but it's just the only thing is Dominic had a really short Intercontinental title run, but also he's not that dominant of a wrestler as a champion or anything. But I think I'm sticking with my prediction is Finn Balor costs Dominic Mysterio the match. He screws over Dominic, and Penta wins the Intercontinental Championship, and then Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio battle it out for like leader of the Judgment Day or whatever. Like, I'm assuming then, no, it wouldn't be the leader of the Judgment Day. Just they battle out because Finn Balor's I think that Finn Balor needs to lead the Judgment Day. That's a personal opinion. The Judgment Day just makes Finn Balor a worse wrestler. He's so much of a bigger wrestler than the freaking shitty-ass Judgment Day group, because the Judgment Day used to be really more dominant. Now it's just like, I just view the Judgment Day as a mid-carder group. It's not as good as it used to be. So Finn Balor needs to get out of there, be a babyface and stuff. So I have Finn Balor screw over Dominic Mysterio. Dominic loses the Intercontinental Championship, and Penta becomes the Intercontinental Champion. So that is my prediction. Penta wins because Finn Balor screws over Dominic. Then we have a random match that like kind of just built out of nowhere. Really cool build and everything, because out of nowhere, a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, Gunther attacked Michael Cole, but Pat McAfee came to the aid, saving Gunther, but at the end, now getting choked out by Gunther. They've been going back and forth on promos, I think, the past couple of weeks. Pat McAfee's been calling Gunther soft and everything. This is a new Gunther, and he's soft. He's not the dominant Gunther that we've known that was 80% of the time on the main roster, a champion. Not anymore. He's soft, and Pat McAfee's going to take him on one-on-one at Backlash. We all know Pat McAfee can actually wrestle pretty good because we've seen him wrestle good in matches before. So this should be actually a pretty decent match. He's not one of those celebrity wrestlers that are not good at wrestling. Pat McAfee's actually pretty decent, and he takes it very serious. He's an athlete, amazing football player and everything. So he can go. I think this is setting up for a later feud for Gunther, because otherwise I think this is random. I think this is setting up, I don't know if you remember at Bad Blood, Gunther I can't remember what he was doing. He was standing in the ring and he was yelling at Pat McAfee and everything, and then behind him was Goldberg. Goldberg was behind him. He started yelling at Goldberg, ripping on Goldberg, and Goldberg jumped the barricade and went after him. Security stopped him and everything, and then it died out. I think this is setting up to Gunther versus Goldberg for Goldberg's retirement match, because Goldberg wants to have a retirement match, and I think Gunther's the perfect person. They clearly were setting up a Bad Blood, and something happened and didn't work out. And Pat McAfee's the guy that has all the legends and sports legends and everything on his show, so it makes sense that this went out tying into like Goldberg being with Pat McAfee. because Pat McAfee always has the ties with the legends of sports and everything. So I think what's going to be is Gunther wins, obviously. He beats Pat McAfee. He's going to choke him out like how he did on Monday Night Raw. He's not going to let go of the chokehold. He's just going to beat the holy hell out of Pat McAfee. Security can't do anything about it. They can't stop him. And Goldberg's music hits. Music hits. Gunther lets go. He's freaking out. Goldberg, and maybe he doesn't walk down the ramp like he does normally, or maybe he does, and he gets in the ring and he spears Gunther. This is just like me throwing it out there because it makes sense. This is the only way I think this makes sense, this storyline. Otherwise, I feel like the Pat McAfee Gunther thing makes no sense. It makes sense if they're setting this up because I think it's going to end up being Gunther versus Goldberg at SummerSlam, and that's Goldberg's retirement match. So I think this is going to build it up. I just feel like that's the only way, in my opinion, the Pat McAfee Gunther thing makes sense. But either way, my prediction is Gunther wins, but then I'm going to throw in there that Goldberg shows up, saves Pat McAfee, and spears Gunther, and this sets up their match later down the road. Then we have the Fatal 4-Way United States title match, which I'm very excited for. Jacob Fatu defending the United States Championship, LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. This is a star-studded match. This is going to be a banger, absolutely banger. I just don't see Jacob Fatu losing his first title defense, but also at the same time, you have such big stars in here like Drew McIntyre, LA Knight. Damian Priest is honestly, I feel like, is the least star out of all of them, but I just don't see Jacob Fatu losing. Maybe I feel like the person that cannot get pinned in this match is Drew McIntyre. I think, and also I think LA Knight can't get pinned. I think Damian Priest is going to be the one that eats the pin, and then he goes away from the storyline. I feel like this could set up like another match between Jacob Fatu and Damian Priest, or Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. LA Knight's already been pinned at WrestleMania 41 by Jacob Fatu, so I just would say LA Knight cannot get pinned by Jacob Fatu. You got to leave LA Knight alone. Can't let him get pinned, so one of the other ones got to get pinned. But I just don't see Jacob Fatu losing this championship. But I do see maybe this sets up a feud down the road between a one-on-one match between Damian Priest and Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, because they're pissed off. They're like, oh, I got screwed over because of such and such. I just don't see Jacob Fatu losing the United States Championship because he just won it. So my prediction is Jacob Fatu retains. Then we have the main event that everybody is excited for. Everybody's pumped up because it's the last time that we're going to see the greatest rivalry of all time, in my opinion, Randy Orton and John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. I feel like this match is not going to be that great because John Cena's talking about how he's going to ruin wrestling. I feel like every match John Cena is going to have is going to be hyped up and everything, and then it's not going to be that great. But if it's a banger match, I'll be super excited. I'm always pumped up for a John Cena match, but especially because it's his retirement tour. But this is going to be so good. I cannot wait for this match. Hopefully it's way better than the WrestleMania 41 main event and we have no Travis Scott. I hope to God Travis Scott doesn't show up. This Travis Scott shit is so stupid. Like, Travis Scott never show up ever again in WWE. And we don't need The Rock. Like, people are saying, oh, maybe The Rock will show up. We don't need The Rock in wrestling anymore. All he does is shit on wrestling and everything. We just need Randy Orton and John Cena. Put on a good match. My prediction is John Cena retains. I don't see Randy Orton winning. It'd be really cool to see Randy Orton win in front of his hometown in St. Louis. I'd love to see that. But I see John Cena winning by cheating. He's going to hit him with the title just like how he did with Cody. And I would not be surprised that John Cena starts beating up Randy Orton because Randy Orton's been saying all these bad things about John Cena. Takes his anger out on him. And then Cody Rhodes' music hits and Cody returns because we've not seen Cody since WrestleMania 41. I feel like this is the perfect place for Cody to return. I say John Cena wins. He starts beating up Randy Orton. Cody's music hit. He comes for the save. And this sets up later down the road maybe a tag match with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes versus, sadly, I'm going to say it, John Cena and Travis Scott, because Travis Scott apparently is now part of the John Cena Farewell Tour, which is pathetic and super annoying. But I do see John Cena. My prediction is John Cena retains the WWE Championship, no doubt. I can see John Cena beating up Randy Orton and then Cody Rhodes returning for the save. Hopefully it does not set up anything with Travis Scott because Travis Scott needs to stay away from the WWE. But overall, I'm very excited for this pay-per-view. I feel like most of these matches are really good. Obviously, John Cena, Randy Orton. I feel like this Intercontinental Championship match will be a banger. Penta and Dominic. This Fatal 4-Way should be a banger. Gunther versus Pat McAfee just should be really entertaining. And Becky Lynch versus Valkyria. It won't be a terrible match, but I'm not super hyped for it. And hopefully we'll see the return of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But this is JRW. Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more wrestling figure content. Drop down in the comments below of your predictions of WWE Backlash 2025 in St. Louis. But I'll see you guys in the next one. And then also Sunday will be the setup review of Backlash. See you guys in the next one.